Here we go then. So another video, Porphis. This is the PRD 715. Although that says 17, I've swapped the air fluid tip and all that good stuff. Fluid tip, needle, air cap, all that stuff onto the other one. Purely because I just wanted to have the blue gun as the clear coat gun, because I'm a tart like that. So anyway, this video I'm just doing 3 jobs in, I call it the one booth. It is 2 booths, so I was going to bang on about how I'm being dead efficient and that. Look at me, I've got 3 jobs in 1 oven, but technically it's 2 ovens. But I was saying about this in one of the other videos that in a production shop like this, you have to be efficient. You've just got to get through as many cars as you can. This style of work is called D-Fleet, which is like ex-lease cars. They've got low mileage. They've just been rented out to whoever, rental companies, private people, whatever. And they come back with small dents and dings, nothing crazy, no big repairs or anything like that. Stone chips in bumpers, and even a lot of them have probably just been sat in storage, and they've got, we call it bird lime, but bird poo on the roof, and it's just been sat in there for so long it actually bites into the clear coat and it leaves a horrible mark. They're quite hard to remove by polishing, so we end up painting a lot of roofs. More than likely that's what's on that roof, on the Corsa on the other side of this booth here. But yeah, just to be efficient, we've got 3 different colours, 3 different jobs, and it's just one of them. They're all dark. They're all far enough apart where you're not going to get any overspray from one to the other. So we can just be efficient in that sense. We can get 3 jobs for the price of 1 through the baking oven, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's the video concluded. But yeah, no, let's just have a chat generally about what I'm doing here. I understand that not everyone has seen all the videos that I've made, so if you are new to the channel, drop a like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But there's only so many ways you can say you put base and clear on in this way, and this being a dark colour as well. I think I've got 2 different metallic blacks and a navy blue bonnet. So you don't, especially on the darker colours, you don't really have to worry about them being patchy or sort of uneven looking, as long as you've not got kind of big, not puddles, but if you overdo it sometimes you almost get a puddle of wet paint on there. As long as you're not doing that kind of thing, then you're not going to have any issues with your base coat. You're not going to, even if it was patchy, you'd never see it because the colour's so dark. So these are quite easy to paint. I do understand when people say that the dark colours are the hardest ones to paint, and what that is, that's more of a reference to, you'll see any wobble. So if you look at the 4 lights that are reflecting in this roof at the minute, if there's any wobble in there, those lights will give that away. And that's what they mean when they say that it's difficult to paint a dark colour. What they mean is all the prep work, all the stuff that goes into it, although it is paint work, all the stuff prior to painting is going to show up as soon as you put that on, because the black is so reflective and so glossy. When it has got that good couple of coats of clear on there, it's going to highlight any mistake. So it's not difficult to apply the base coat and the clear coat, but it's difficult to put right, before you apply it. That's where the job's going to be let down. Not that there's any point bringing it up, but I've kind of stopped going to car shows because of this kind of thing. I do love walking around looking at hot rods, you American guys. I'm from the UK, if you didn't know. I love a good hot rod, muscle car, those kind of things. So we don't get to see them that often in the UK, so I used to spend times at the weekends and stuff when there's a car show on. I'd love to go and look at them. And because I am a painter, and it's not unfortunate, but I've got that keen eye for detail, and the closer you get to them, you're just like, 20 minutes, mate. 20 minutes of prep on that bonnet would have made it look $1 million, but they rushed it. The amount of times you can see the filler and there's like pinholes, and you can see the sort of scratches in the filler work, and you think you've not put high build on that. I don't know what you've done, but you've not followed the processes, and it's not disheartening. That's not why I've stopped going, but it's a shame to see these classic cars that we don't get to see anyway, and it feels like they've been rushed a little bit. And I do hear sometimes as well, you guys will need to let me know. I know some guys in the UK do go to SEMA and stuff like that, but I have heard stories of cars not being finished and rushed, and there's bits and bobs, and that they're not the quality that you'd expect. Unfortunately, I know you've got deadlines and things for SEMA and stuff like that, but I suppose, I don't know how it works. If you've paid for a slot at SEMA and your car's not ready, you've paid for your slot. So I don't know how that works, in all honesty. You've paid for it, you're going to bring your car, but it's these sort of meetups that you see in the UK and stuff, and you're just like, dude, you could have, that car could be so much better if they just spent that little bit of time. And I don't know if they get excited when it's time to put the clear on, or you think, right, we're here now, let's, you rush that last 20 minutes of prep, and it lets the whole job down. So I've got on a right tangent there again. But again, it's not a bad thing. Each to their own, Don't get me wrong, I'd still give you my left arm for one of those hot rods. It's, again, them being rare in the UK and you don't get to see them. It's just working to a high standard in most of the places I've ever been. You need it to be, well, I need it to be right. Again, I try my hardest every time here to do the best that I can. You see these bonnets and stuff, although don't get me wrong, they are new. They ain't got tons of filler in them and stuff like that. I say new, the cars are new. Your work can look quite good, but even when we get stuff that isn't as good, and it has got a bit of filler in it, and it's had a hard life, when I get given a job to prep that has got filler in it, I'm checking the filler before I touch it, before I do anything to it. I want to check it. I want to feel that it's as smooth as it can be. There's no bumps, there's no edges, all that kind of stuff. And that's stuff that I've learned over the years as well. A lot of it is a tongue twister. A lot of it is experience. I've prepped enough jobs and not checked that the filler's kind of where it needs to be, and not really understood how to block a car properly as well. Sometimes you end up putting, and any panel guys that are listening, shout out to you guys as well. You can take a nice repair and make it, people will put a DA on it, and I watched one not long ago. Someone was blocking the side of a car with a 200mm block, so like I don't know, just the way that they're blocking it, they're putting lines into the filler, and it's making the panel wobbly. So it's understanding little things like that, and I know not everybody's got the experience to do that, and especially hot rods and stuff that have been built at home as well. A lot of these guys have, that's what hot rodding is, doing it at home. So I do get it. Like I said, I've made the mistakes myself, but now I'm a bit of a stickler for it. I want to double check and make sure that the filler's right. Then I use guide coat a lot. A guide coat, you can use an aerosol or the powdered versions, but you want to, or I want to anyway, once you've got your primer on there, loads of guide coat, block it, and it's going to show you any low spots and high spots and things like that. So you end up blocking this. It's normally a black powder on. Different companies do different colours, but you want mostly black. And as you're blocking it off the primer, it will show you where the imperfections are, and just little things like that you pick up over the years. I do that on everything. I don't really play with filler that much. I'm not going to tell you I'm a body guy, I know anything about it, but I used to do it on the filler when I used to do bits and bobs of filler. And it just shows you that your repair is as straight as it can be. There's little techniques to doing it. There's a great company out there that in the US, again, we don't have it in the UK. We need stuff like this. And I'd love to bring it on board through PainTeX somehow, but PainTeX, if you don't know, is a brand that I've started a company, but We ain't got a big corporate backing or anything like that. It's literally just me. Again, I'm just sat in my garage now recording YouTube videos and try to do my own thing. But if we could bring something like that into the UK, like 90, like I was saying, before I get too far off topic, is an aerosol that wets stuff up like this clear coat here. So you can see with the clear coat, it gives you that reflection. Now when you're doing body work, and you can use, I usually do it with degreaser, so I'll put it in a pressurized, sort of pump sprayer bottle, and I'll wet the panel up and I'll look down the panel for these wobbles. But like 90 have got like an aerosol where you can put it on and it looks like clear coat, and you can really tell that your jobs are straight, and that's what you want, because when you're working on, especially again classic cars and stuff like that, if you can get that as good as it can be, it's stunning, it's show stopping. Again, why the car shows are so big in America, and you've got things like the Riddler Award, and you've got all these other crazy awards, and I could never imagine entering a car that that there's imperfections in it. It's bonkers. I don't even know where this conversation's come from. But yeah, it's just one of them. Just take your time, guys, when you're out there, when you're working on it. Again, I do feel like it's hard to say put base coat on like this, put clear coat on like that. It's all 2-bar, full fan, full fluid, all that good stuff. Don't get me wrong, you do need to know that kind of stuff, but I might even try and get on some of these podcasts as well, or even start my own with painting. I want to understand other people's knowledge as well, and try and inject some of that conversation into what I'm talking about, because you do get to learn from other people's experience and things like that, and somebody might say try this, and then you do it and it's game changing. I've got a good friend of mine, Adam, and I'd been painting for quite a few years at this point, and I had it was like a white car, and I had a big hair in it, like most of the time I've got shaggy hair. I don't usually get it cut as often as I should. Bit of a scruff. But I had this hair in this job and I couldn't get it out, and I was just like, I don't know if he saw me or if I told him, but I'm just chasing this hair around. It was a white car and I've got sort of dark brown hair, and you could just see it, and I was like, I don't know what to do with it. I'm chasing it, but the more I was trying to pull it out with a piece of tape, couldn't get it. Absolutely useless. It wasn't coming out. Adams went, oh, no bother, watch this, and he pulled out some tweezers, and I'll link these in the description. They're for setting like jewelry stones and watches and all these little things, but the thing with a pair of tweezers is, because you can pinch them together, you can pick stuff up, and he just grabbed the end of his hair and pulled it out the panel like it was never there. And just like a quick puff of lacquer over the top where I'd sort of chased it around it initially, and it was gone. You could never tell that there was anything wrong with it. And it's just when you start talking to guys and sharing each other's experiences and that, I went home and I went straight on Amazon and I bought the same set. It was game changing. I like to think I'm good, and you can pull it out with bits of tape, and you do get these little fly sticks and stuff like that. I think Hannah from Lucky 13 Paint Shop, she was just saying about 3D printer. There's like a needle that you can get to clean the end, and she swears by them. She was saying that you can literally just lift bits and bobs out of there, but the thing for me, everybody's got their own style, but when Adam showed me these tweezers, again, because you can pinch them, you can pick stuff and hold on to it, so you don't end up pushing it around. You just grab a hold of it and pull it out and it's gone. So like I say, I'll leave a link for them in the description. They're really useful. But again, talking to people, just getting to know what they like to do. I was saying about before, just witnessing that fella doing a blocking when he was blocking the door, and he put a wobble in the panel. If he'd have used a long block, that probably wouldn't have happened. It's just little bits of inexperience. So I don't know, I'll send out some emails and see if I can get on some podcasts, and I don't know if you'd be interested in listening to that. Let me know down below if you want to continue to hear me waffle on. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. But we are about to wrap this video up. We're just coming up the top of this quarter panel here, and I don't know, do you want to hear more from me? I don't know, I do feel like I waffle on, but I've just recorded 3 of these back to back, so maybe that's why I feel like I am waffling and just going on these tangents. But I really do appreciate you guys joining me and spending your time here. and we will see you in the next one.